The following content contains adult subject matter, including sensitive material, and is intended for adult consumption only. It may not be suitable for all audiences. Therefore, discretion is advised. Lele Pons is not a trained expert, but is using her personal experiences and platform to create a space for sensitive discussions.
Hey guys, welcome to Best Kept Secrets. I hope you guys are feeling frisky today because this episode is all about sex. I think sex is a fascinating subject because even though it's the reason why we're all here on this planet, thanks mom and dad, and thank you for doing what you did, it's still so mysterious and powerful. It's not just humans who think sex is a big deal because bonobo monkeys are the closest primates genetically related to humans, and they also solve disputes in their communities by having sex with each other, which sounds like a pretty good, peaceful solution to me. They also have female-dominated societies, so maybe that's something that we should all learn from them. We all know that sex is a combination of physical pleasure and emotional connection. Well, mostly it's sometimes physical and then you find the love of your life and then it becomes an emotional connection. That's the hardest part to find. But how important those two sides are can vary so much from person to person. Our two callers today are a perfect example of that. Later on, our second caller, Heather, is going to tell us all about her experience with her sex addiction and why she values the physical side of it more than love or romance. Therefore, she does not have that emotional connection. However, before that, let's talk to Kyle about why he started collecting sex toys and the surprising reason he thinks they've made a value companionship and intimacy more. Let's get started. All right, we have now a frat boy, Kyle, on the line. Hi, Kyle. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. How old are you?
I'm 31.
Oh, amazing. And what is your best kept secret?
My best kept secret that no one knows is that I have a trove of fleshlights.
What is fleshlights? I know what a flashlight is, but what is fleshlight?
Fleshlights are essentially silicone fabricated vaginas that are molded after some of today's most popular porn stars.
Yes, I know I got one from my cousin, like literally in August.
You are the best cousin ever. Great gift.
Yeah, he was like, "That's the best gift," and I was like, "Yep." I know, it's like a vagina, and then you put it. It's like a flashlight vagina.
Exactly, it's perfect. It's like super. It's super chill. It's chic. You can hide it, and you can blend in really well. People at TSA, when they see it, they kind of like just overlook it. It's perfect.
That's so funny. And are there different kinds of fleshlights?
Oh, yes, indeed. I have them all. So you've got your traditional like stamina training unit, which is what you use if you want to like feel like the most lifelike version that fits closest to actual woman's vagina. And then from there, each fleshlight girl has their own individual insert. So it's a different feel. And then they've got these really cool ones. They're really creepy. They're like Halloween themed. So they've got like an alien one, which is like blue, and that's got a crazy design. They got like one that's a vampire one where it's like fangs, you know? They've got like a predator one. And then like they've also got vibrating ones.
How many do you have?
Oh, I've got like 3 dozen.
And what do you do with all of them? It's like you're fucking so many girls.
Yeah. I think for me, it was just one of those things where it became like, you know, you collect items.
Yeah, of course.
I just got addicted and I just started collecting it. And it was like, it wasn't like I have to fuck this. It was like, what does that feel like? It was more like coming from a place of like genuine intrigue. Like, I wonder what that feels like, or what is that texture like?
Wow.
And so I think for me, it just kind of grew from there.
Tell me about when you bought your first one. How was that?
Okay, it was fantastic. So it was my birthday, and I don't really smoke or drink, and my frat house was like a little too crazy, and I was just like, I don't feel like doing this tonight. So it was for my birthday, and I just bounced. I was like, whatever, who cares? I drove down the hill, and I went to the sex shop, and I'd always driven past it, and I was always like, hey, I don't know. So I go into the sex shop, and I feel like kind of skeevy, you know. But finally I was just like, fuck it, I'm here. Like, let's just embrace it. So I went and I asked about like different sex toys. And so like the worker there showed me like dolls, and I was like, oh, that's too much. And then like she showed me like these different like inserts in female designs. And then I was like, oh, what's this one? This is super chill. And she was like, that's a Fleshlight. And it was the STU. And after the party died down, like, thank God, I came home and I heated up some water on the stove, got it just to the rolling boil that she recommended. I put it in a big bowl, let it sit for like 5 to 10 minutes to heat up.
Okay.
And then I had just like this, honestly, it was like a fucking lightning blast of pleasure in my loins. It was like the craziest thing I've ever felt. And yeah, I was just like, I'm hooked. I'm in.
How often do you use them? Like in like a normal amount, or is it taking up a large amount of your time?
I mean, it used to be honest. Like when I was younger, I'm not going to lie to you. I probably would use one. I would probably use them 3 to 4 times a day. Like
every day.
Wake up in the morning. Yeah, every day, 3 to 4 times a day. It got to the point where like I got super desensitized to real intercourse with a woman.
But I mean, before you got them, were you masturbating as much?
No, definitely not. Like masturbating,
okay,
typically once, twice a day, you know, just like not every day, but just, you know, you're a boy, you know, you're a young, horny boy. So it's like, cool, whatever. But I think for that, like the experience itself was like so explosive and so exhilarating and so different every time that I was like, holy fuck, this is like better than real sex.
Exactly. Like now that you have real sex and that when you have it, is it better or bad or worse when you have sex? I mean, I feel like now your standards are very high.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, no. Like a woman's vagina can't heat up to 126 degrees and then vibrate.
No,
you know, it just can't. But what I've learned is that, like, and what I've learned about sex is like it's not about it is physical, but it's also about the intimacy. Like even when I was in my heyday, like captain the football team, you know, playing football, basketball, lead in the plays and all that shit, and I was like, you know, still hooking up with women. Like sex to me was still very unfulfilling. Like the risk involved, you know, I had like super anxiety whenever I had sex. Like I was like, oh my God, like what if I perform bad? Then she's going to tell everyone that like I had whack dick. Like you can't be out here in a frat slinging whack dick. And I was like, what if she gets pregnant? And then with the Fleshlight, it's like, you don't have any of that. It's just no worries in the world. It's just you and this silicone girl, and you just kind of go to town.
Oh my God. Do you date a lot? Do you think you're good with girls?
Yeah, I mean, I've been very fortunate to date all across the spectrum. In college.
And your girls don't say anything about this?
No, like none of them know. Like it's a secret. Like I mean that. Like all right, so right now I'll be honest, I have a girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
And she is extremely attractive. I am very lucky to be with her. She is physically, like, I literally like described what I want in a woman, and like she's it. And I'm very, very fortunate.
That's amazing.
Yeah, when we first started dating, we used to Zoom a lot because we live in different cities. And so one day I had one of my Fleshlights, and I had the actual, like, there's this apparatus that I bought called the Launch, where it actually controls the Fleshlight for you, so you don't even have to, like, it's like a hands-free device for it. And so I had this hands-free device just laying in my bed, and she was like, what the fuck is that behind you? And I was like, what are you talking about? It's nothing. She was like, it's not nothing. What is that big black box behind you? And I was like, oh. So I showed her my Fleshlight, and she was like low-key disgusted. But I basically told her, I was like, do you have a dildo? And she was like, yes. And I was like, well, for me, it's the same thing. It's a sex toy, and that's it. And we had like a couple.
Yeah, but she doesn't have as many as you do.
No.
No.
She thinks. I'll be completely honest with you. So I told you I have 3 dozen. She thinks it's like 1 to 2.
Oh my God! Where do you hide them?
I got this gray storage bin / bucket, and I just kind of toss them in there. And I just put it in the back closet underneath some boxes.
Do you think that having Fleshlights has made your sex life better, or do you think it makes you a little bit less, makes you lazy because the Fleshlights, you know, they're easier?
I think my sex life, from a dexterity and performance, and confidence place has like gone through the roof. Like, I don't worry, like, am I going to come quick or anything like that? I do think now, because sex with a woman, like it's different.
It's different.
Like the intimacy, it's made intimacy so much more important, because it's no longer just like, am I hooking up with this person? It's like, do I enjoy this experience with this woman? And like, do I like want to be with her? And so I think in that way, it actually helped me become a better man, because it's like, when I go out, even before I started dating my girlfriend, when I would go out, it's like, I wasn't trying to hook up. I was like, do I like you? Do we click? Do we connect? Do we talk?
That's very important.
Yeah. And I know it's very boring, but it's like...
It's not boring.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you.
But I understand completely where you're coming from. I just have one more last question for you, which is, if you can design your own fleshlight, what would it look like?
May I tell you what it would feel like?
Yeah, what it would feel like,
Yeah.
How it would be.
Okay. I'll be honest. Like, I feel like I really am attracted to a woman with like full like labia and like full like lips to her pussy. Like, I think it's just super sexy. Like, as my girlfriend says, she has a quote unquote fat pussy. So it's like peaches. That would be like the exterior. I would want there to be like a tight entry, of course, because that's always amazing. And then like a series of chambers that kind of like just take you on like a wave, like just a really chill wave, but then like barriers behind that are just like super exhilarating, that like almost gives you like a pulsating vibe. And then something on the back end that just squeezes as you like go all the way in.
Sounds like science.
Kind of like,
sounds like science.
Exactly. Exactly.
Sounds like you're having a great time. You're having a blast, which is great. You just upgraded your masturbation. That's all you're doing. It's not
there
sex.
it is. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for understanding.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have an amazing time. Thank you for sharing this with us. Hopefully it made you feel better. Took some stuff off your chest.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye. I am shocked that it helps him in sex, because I thought it was a high standard thing that he had. Like, nothing could make him feel the way that makes him feel. So, but I understand the thing of intimacy, because it is just a toy at the end of the day. And it's like, we also want to hold something, so it's great. Now he's an expert. He knows how to, he knows what he wants. And his girlfriend sounds amazing. It sounds like he's a better boyfriend, a better guy, because you're not going to cheat when you have that. Like, I feel like he's not. He has so many vaginas, toys. And I don't think it's an obsession. I feel like he still has a normal life. And, guys I know masturbate a lot, So it's not. If it's taking over his life, yes. But if it's not an obsession. And he seems pretty faithful to the girl. And I don't know. I might buy that for my boyfriend. All right, guys, we'll be right back, and we're going to be talking to Heather next. 1 second. All right, guys, we're back, and we're going to give Heather a call. Let's go. Hi, Heather.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thanks.
I'm very curious to know, what is your best kept secret?
My secret is that I am a female sex addict.
Okay. When you say sex addict, do you mean like you just like to have sex, or you had sex with like a lot of people?
I have sex with a lot of people, like 500 men.
Oh, wow.
And 100 women.
Oh, and I mean, listen, honestly, you probably, trust me, you're not the first one. This is a common thing. I mean, this is, as long as it's safe and you haven't gotten anything, which is crazy, because have you gotten anything?
Oh, yes, I've gotten pregnant, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But I had an abortion.
I meant like diseases, like STDs and stuff.
Yeah, I got STDs as well. I had 2 bouts of chlamydia, unfortunately, but that's cleared up, and I've learned my lesson, and now I only practice safe sex.
Okay, safe sex. All right. How do you define sex addiction?
Well, it is my drug of choice. I feel like I always need to have it, and if I don't get it, I feel like I have to go into withdrawal.
Oh, okay. And then do you pick the person? Do you have why can't you have one specific person, right, that you want to have sex with?
One person wouldn't do it for me because I'm never satisfied.
Okay.
So they get too tired, Yeah, I need to have it multiple rounds every day.
Wow. And have you been diagnosed by a therapist, or did you self-diagnose yourself?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have been diagnosed as a sex addict. Yes.
Oh, and what does your therapist say?
Well, the therapist has given me some ways to deal with it. Trying to think about other things, try to do a different hobby. But the problem is that when you're addicted to people, it's very difficult because people are everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? So whenever I see a person that's semi-attractive, I'm always thinking about how I can get them into bed if there's some possibility of seeing them naked.
I understand, the urge of to do something and feeling uncomfortable when you don't do it. So I understand that part. Mm-hmm. When did it start for you?
It started when I was 26. So now I'm 44. So yeah, it's been quite some time already.
Oh, wow. So your parents, did they divorce? Did they, because that usually happens when for me, it happened I got really bad when something happened with my family, a divorce.
Yes, that happened to me as well. It started when my father left my mother.
Oh, okay.
It was unexpected, totally out of the blue. And it happened when I was 23. When my father left, he said something very disturbing to us children. He said, as he was leaving the door, he said, "I'm going to go out and screw women." And so what I said to him was, "Okay, I'm going to go out and screw men." So I did it as a revenge against my dad. It didn't work out, though.
No, and your dad, have you kept in touch with him? Are you still mad at him?
I was mad at him for 5 years, and we didn't talk until I was 28. But then we came around, and now he's the only one who actually knows about my sex addiction.
And what did he say? What does he say? Does he say anything to help? Does he understand?
He was very upset. He's in denial because he doesn't believe that I have it. But I tried to explain to him that I feel like I'm Tiger Woods on steroids.
Oh no. And I wonder, do you believe in love?
No, I don't. No, not anymore. I used to. Before everything happened, maybe before I lost my virginity, I was older. I was 26 the first time.
Oh, wow.
But before, my parents, I was much older. So I think I was making up for lost time. And before my parents split up, I did believe in love, but my dad used to sprout a lot of family values, saying family was the most important thing in life and that sort of thing. And so once that happened and he left us for his secretary, of all people.
Oh, my, of course. What the fuck? What is this, a movie? Why is it the secretary? What the
exactly.
fuck?
That's what it feels like sometimes. Yeah, it feels like a movie sometimes, a bad movie. A very painful movie, but nonetheless, it's my life.
So you went from virgin to sleeping with other 500 men. How did and you never fell in love with any of them? Never had a moment.
Yes, I fell in love with 2.
Okay.
I did fall in love with 2. I was engaged twice, but one of them was a guy from Cuba who all he wanted to do was get my passport. And the other guy was a guy from the Dominican, and all he wanted me to do was pay him to be with me.
Oh, no, that's disgusting. I just want you to know that there are men out there that are fucking dope, though. How do you meet these men, by the way? Online, out in bars?
Yes, I meet them mostly organically, mostly in person, because I'm old school, and I prefer to do things in person. So I would meet them in a bar. I would meet them in the grocery store, of all places. At the library, at university, at many different places that I can go. Even at the airport, I've met a couple of dudes as well.
Do you tell them straight up that you want sex, or do you try and charm them at first?
No, I do tell them straight up what I'm looking for.
Oh, wow. That's dope.
And I do ask for dick pics.
Oh, wow.
A lot of women don't want to see those, but I do, because I'm a size queen.
You like them big.
The bigger, the better. And if you show me, I'm going to be happy.
So you must be really good at sex. Every single position.
Yep.
I mean, why don't you, I hate to say this, but why don't you do not want to become a prostitute? Get paid actually, because you love it so much, but why not get paid since you don't care?
The truth is that my physical body is not built to be a prostitute because I'm a larger woman. I am not skinny. So I personally feel that if I was skinny, I would become a hooker or a dancer or a stripper, and I'd show off my body and I could have sex all the time and I could get paid for it. But because I am a larger woman, it's a lot harder for larger women to get laid.
We love curvy. And right now things are changing so much. I don't know if you noticed, but like more than like 20 years ago, right now, everybody's obsessed with curvy.
Yes, that's true. There's a lot of people who are attracted to curvy.
Yeah, trust me.
That is true. And that's the reason I've had like basically the United Nations in my bedroom. I've dated people from every single walk of life known to man, like a rainbow.
Like a rainbow.
So I'm a non-discriminatory lover.
Let me tell you,
Equal opportunist.
You say that the hookers and prostitutes don't have to be skinny. I don't think so. I mean, you're literally like, if you were able to get 500 men to sleep with you, you can easily get one a night, or like at least I don't know, do it for fun. Like I know you do it for fun, but like imagine you get paid. I mean, what's your craziest story?
Oh my gosh, my craziest story would have to be when I ended up having sex with one of my former students at university. Because I couldn't resist his charm.
That's insane. Yeah. Do you get emotionally satisfaction out of it, or is it just all like physical?
I do get some emotional satisfaction out of it, but it's mostly physical. To be honest with you, my body craves it, and it's more of a physical reaction than anything else. So I feel like a man sometimes because they get physical reactions about it, and so do I. And I can very, very easily detach myself from somebody, sleeping with them for one time, and then we're done. Very easily, not a problem.
And do you eventually want to get into a relationship or get married, or nothing? You don't want that? It's not in your book.
Absolutely not. Okay. I'm not looking for a relationship, and I'm not interested in marriage at all. No.
Okay. I feel like not everybody likes that. I'm especially right now. People are very, very independent these days, and feel like you're enjoying yourself, and like you have like a lifestyle right now going on, and as long as you're safe, which is the most important thing. Please, like there's nothing to say. No, you should not be judged. I mean, you're not hurting anybody, and you're not hurting yourself. But you mentioned that you were going to therapy.
Yes.
Why would you go to therapy if you don't want to really change?
I want to go to therapy because I do want to change. I think, I don't want 500 men to turn into 1,000 men.
Okay.
And I think that as I get older, I could get a handle on it if I did have some therapy. But unfortunately, therapy is quite expensive, especially for this type of addiction. So it makes it very difficult when you're not financially amazing, let's say.
Okay. I mean, we have resources at the end of the episode, like if you want to get help or anything like that. Sometimes like where I go, it's like sometimes they give it for you for free, if you can't afford it. So maybe we can like send you a link if that helps, great. Seriously. And there's a link to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but seriously,
sure.
Hopefully we helped you. Hopefully it felt good to talk about it. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you very much.
I wish I was as good as you at sex. Trust me. You seem like you know what you're doing. Like I'm still learning every time.
I do get people who remember me years later.
Oh, that's amazing. What's your favorite position?
My favorite position? Oh, I like to be on top.
Hey, so you ride them good, I guess. Oh my God, that's a hard one.
I do. I ride them good. Giddy up, cowboy.
My God. Okay, that's amazing. Guys love that. So. Well, thank you so much. Have an amazing year. Stay safe, and hopefully quarantine you stay healthy.
Thank you so much. It was nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you. This is a very intense call. 500 men. That's a lot. It's 100 women. She's in therapy, so I'm not gonna be that person that's gonna be like, okay, let's go deep and see your trauma. So it's good that she's getting help. She wants to get better. I don't think she wants to stop. We got that clear. Doesn't want, to get married or have kids. And, a lot of people are like that. So, and this is one of them. But I do think that she should reduce the sex, like the men. Maybe not the sex, you can still have it, but with not that many people. I think that's good. And I honestly, I don't know what is the difference between just like this and like wanting to get paid for it. I mean, 500 men, you don't care really. Well, thank you so much to Heather and Kyle for calling in and being so open and honest with us today. Both their calls definitely gave me a lot to think about. At first, I have to say that I was shocked when I realized how big Kyle's collection of fleshlights is. And I mean, good for him if it makes him happy. But if I found a bucket full of dirty vaginas in my boyfriend's closet, I definitely have a few questions. A little bit kind of weird. But it's not like cheating. It's just like, it's weird. And I have to say, I've never owned a dildo before, so I couldn't even relate to him in that part. But the more we talked about it, though, I really started to see why Kyle values his collection so much. It sounds like he's with an amazing girlfriend now, and maybe those fleshlights helped him find the relationship because, like he said, he wasn't as focused on just hooking up with people for the fun of it when he had all those fleshlights back at home. Therefore, maybe all those fleshlights waiting in his bedroom kept him out of trouble, because he doesn't have the physical desire to do anything since he had everything at home. So he was looking for something else, not physical, but emotional. I talked a little bit earlier about how sex is a combination of physical pleasure and emotional connection. And it sounds to me that by letting the fleshlight take care of his physical needs, Kyle was able to focus more on finding a partner he had a real emotional connection with. So that has to be a good thing. Now, Heather's secret is a really interesting contrast to Kyle's bucket of sex toys. I mean, for her, sex is all about the physical pleasure she gets from it. And she says that she doesn't believe in love and has no interest in building a long-term emotional relationship with anyone. I can't do that. I don't know how she can, but that's her decision. I want to thank Heather again for being so open about what she's been through. Clearly, her parents' divorce affected her a lot, and she said that she started first doing this and sleeping with many men just to get revenge on her dad. And after she lost her virginity at 26, she said that she was making up for lost time. And while that must have felt good at the time, I got the impression that she has some regrets about that right now. And I'm glad that she's practicing safe sex at least, so she's not still picking up, STDs and things like that. She said that she's still picking up guys for sex to this day, and she clearly has a lot of self-confidence if she's approaching these guys in the middle of a grocery store and even at airports and then straight out asking them, hey, let's have sex. That's crazy. I'm sure that way of living has given her some wild adventures, but I hope that, like how she can allow herself to see the value of companionship and intimacy in her relationships in the future and not just physical pleasure. I find this to be such an interesting topic that I feel like I want to throw the question over to you guys to see where you stand. Today's question of the week is a personal one. Can you separate sex from emotion? I feel like some people can and some people cannot. So I'm intrigued to find out where you guys stand. I personally need emotion. I cannot separate sex from emotion. It has to be emotional. But let me know by voting in the poll on my Instagram at Lele Pons. But for now, that's our show for this week. Thanks again to Kyle and Heather for opening up today. And don't forget, we'll be back next Wednesday with another episode packed full of best kept secrets.
If you or someone you know are struggling emotionally, text START to 741-741 for a confidential chat anytime.
Bum, bum.
Thanks for listening to Best Kept Secrets with me, Lele Pons, only on Spotify in partnerships with Shot Studios. The Shot Studios original team includes creators John Shahidi and Sam Shahidi, my lovely producer Belinda Mercer, and audio editor Stephen Colon. From Spotify Studios, executive producers Javier Pinol, Liz Gately, Gina Delvac, and Danny Treboj. And a special thanks to Dan Behar, Jessica Molina, Francisco Quijada, and Julio Pabon. I'm Lele. Follow me on Instagram at Lele Pons and check out my exclusive merch at lilshop.com. That is lilshop, Lil shop.com. Talk to you next week.